Ab eas causas, ei munitioni, quam fecerat, titum labienum legatum praeficit. Ipse, in Italiam magnis itineribus contendit, duasque ibi legiones conscribit, et tres, quae circum aquiliam hemiebant, ex Hibernis educit, et, qua proximum iter in ulteriorum Galliam per Alpes erat, cum his quinque legionibus ire contendit. Talk about a mouthful. Okay, we start off with the prepositional phrase here, ab eas causas. Because of these things that Caesar just described in the previous sentence. Then we have another chunk, eu munitioni, dative. Quam introduces a relative clause talking about the fortifications. It starts there and ends there. And then we have the main part of the sentence here. So let's see. Because of these things, he, Caesar, put this guy in charge of this dative. He put this guy, the legate, in charge of this dative, which he had built. So basically, he puts Labienus in charge of the wall that was keeping the Helvetians from taking their original route. Ipse, and Caesar states this here to tell you that we're switching subjects. Ipse, of course, is Caesar himself. So Caesar is talking about himself with a third person intensifying pronoun. He himself, what did Caesar himself do? Prepositional phrase, in Italiam. Another chunk here, ablatives. Let's see. Into Italy with forced marches. And by the way, by the time you get to contendit, you probably, if you don't know the meaning of the word, which you should, because that was in stage 6 of Cambridge, you should at least have an idea. He blanked into Italy with forced marches. He went into Italy, hastened, something like that. And then we've got a que saying what else, starting another chunk telling us what else he did. And there, duasque legiones, noun adjective pair, he conscribit there. So it says what he did. So far we see Caesar's done one thing here to take care of the Helvetians, and another thing here. And this is the third thing that Caesar did. He conscribed 2 legions there in Italy. And what else did he do? Trace, so 3 somethings, and before we figure out what those somethings are, he gives us this relative clause. 3 somethings which were wintering around this city. Another prepositional phrase, circum aquiliam. Then we've got this prepositional phrase, from the winter quarters, and then we have a fourth verb, educit. So here's the fourth thing he did. He educit 3 somethings from the winter quarters where they were wintering. And trace, of course, means legions, so it's understood. So over here, he did something to these 2 legions, and over here, he educit 3 additional legions. And again, that's understood. Legiones goes with trace. What else did he do? And on that route, in the place where, proximum iter, noun adjective pair, prepositional phrase, into ulterior Gaul, another prepositional phrase, through the Alps. So let's see. In the place where the trip into ulterior Gaul through the Alps was nearest, cum his quinque legionibus, prepositional phrase. Oh, and here's the 5th thing Caesar did, right there. Contendit ire. Notice he's using ire here as completing the idea of contendit. We don't often see contendit, or we haven't seen it, as taking a complementary infinitive, but it makes sense. You can hasten, you can hurry to do something. So he hastened to go into ulterior Gaul, by means of the way where the trip through the Alps was closest. So he is in a hurry to go cut off those Helvetians. Ibi Celtrones et Graeoceli et Catarigis Locis superioribus occupatis itinere exercitum prohibere conantur. Okay, we've got an adverb here. Our subject starts here, and nominative, connector, nominative, another connector. So those three guys here are our subjects. My bad, those three tribes. Okay, loci superioribus occupatis. By now, you certainly recognize an ablative absolute staring you in the face. Itinere is ablative, and that's because you always try to keep things from an ablative. So your main verb is conantur. Again, these three tribes attempt, and conantur, of course, takes a complementary infinitive with prohibere. The direct object is exercitum, so they attempt to do this to the army from there. Apparently, those tribes did not get the message that Caesar was in a hurry to get somewhere. Cum pluribus his procellis pulsis, ab ocelo, quod est oppidum citerioris pervincii extremum, in fines vocantiorum ulterioris pervincii, die septimo pervenit. All right, we will stop there. By now, you should be really good at saying another ablative absolute, cum pluribus his procellis pulsis, prepositional phrase, and then we have a relative clause that is describing this place, ocelo, quod est oppidum. Let's see, extremum, it is the last town, genitive phrase here, of this area. Okay, and then we've got another prepositional phrase. So apparently Caesar went from here to here. So Caesar goes on to give us more information. Apparently the borders of these guys, right here. And where are they? Those are people of this area. And here Caesar tells us how long it took him. He got there on the 7th day. Inde in Alabrogum fines, ab Alabrogibus in Selgosiavos exercitum ducit. Well, did he rest after that? No, because then prepositional phrase, to this place, from here to here, he did this to the army. Now Caesar gives us some more details about where he is. He sunt extra provinciam trans Rhodanum primi. So it's almost like on Star Trek, beyond the borders. These guys are prepositional phrase, prepositional phrase. These guys are the first ones outside the province across the Rhone.